Hello everybody.
Hello everyone.
Today we're going to start talking a little bit about fasting. So the first thing we're going to address is when and why to fast. What reasons and when we should do that, the best time to do that. So,
Yeah, you start.
okay. There are actually two major schools of thought in this regard. There's a school of thought called natural hygienism and there's another called nature cure. And they have slightly different opinions on when one should fast and why one should fast. Natural hygienists think that if you feel like your body is bloated with too much or you need a rest from food, then natural hygienism encourages you to fast when it's convenient for you. So if you feel like you've been eating cooked food for too long and you need to take a break and you want to start eating more raw foods, then whenever it's convenient for you, when you haven't got to go to work because you're going to be knocked out, that's a good time for you to be fasting. But the natural cure people, on the other hand, they have quite a different opinion on when you should fast, and they believe that you should only fast when you reach a healing crisis. Now, a healing crisis, if you don't understand what it means, a healing crisis is basically when you start to get symptoms that your body is expelling things, it's detoxing, it's eliminating. So that can come in many, many different forms. You can get aches in your body somewhere, headache, stomach ache, just everywhere you can be aching, or you can get fever, or your nasal passages can become blocked. And this would be a time ideally for you to fast if you can, because your body is actually saying, I need time to clean out whatever is in here that shouldn't be there. So you've got the two different schools of thought. To be honest, when I was younger, I was always on the side of natural hygienism, and I thought it's better to take a break and not eat when one can, rather than wait until one gets a healing crisis. But in recent years, I'm starting to see the sense in waiting for a healing crisis, because that's when your body really needs to do it. And that's when it's actually easier for you to fast as well, because you naturally lose appetite under a lot of these circumstances. So that's the two kind of major ways of when you should fast.
Well, I never knew anything about fasting, and only because I'm reading Bible, I knew that Jesus was fasting for 40 days. That's all I knew about fasting. But in those days, I would think, well, that's amazing, but I thought I never couldn't do that, because I look at Jesus as somebody who's have more abilities than I do. And I thought there is no way I could ever do something like this. And that's all what I knew and how I perceived fasting. But I was already in Australia. I was already 2 years fruitarian, just fruit, nothing else. And suddenly I lost appetite. And that never happened to me before. And because I like to listen my body, I said, well, if I don't feel like eating, I just won't eat. I also thought, if I'm not going to eat, I'm going to die. That's another thing I forgot to mention. I believe you have to eat to live. And I said to myself, okay, I just won't eat. And if I feel like I'm dying, I just eat. So I went for it. I just stopped eating. It was easy for me. And I experienced amazing detox of my body. I won't mention it here because that's a different story. But that was my first fast. That was incredible experience for me. I learned so much from it, and I was surprised how much toxins my body releasing, even though I was eating compared to average person, very healthy, mainly fruit and veg, and I never indulged in any heavy, fatty, meaty meals. You know, breads and dumplings and stuff like this, things from grinds, cakes. Nothing like that was ever something I would be attracted to as food. So I also had cats, and somebody poisoned them, my neighbor. That's a long time ago. That was when I was vegan. And I noticed when they were sick, they stopped eating. So I agree here with Mango. When you're not well, you should rest and not eat. Because in most cases, if we're not well, we actually don't have an appetite. And I heard often people say, you know, I am not well, I'm not feeling like eating, but I should eat something. Because this is the brainwash that you should eat to keep the energy and whatever. As I believe, I'm not eat, I die, something on those levels. A lot of people are believing, even if you don't have an appetite, you should eat because it's good to eat something. You have to eat something, you know, you have to function and so on. Another important information, if you're not well, is to rest. Even if you fast, even if you feel energy, I believe you should rest. To give body the energy to work on the cleaning of your body. If you're not well, that's usually the toxins are built up a lot and your body just want to get rid of them. And if you not listen to your body and you're going to eat and not rest, you're going to feel only worse. And the time to reach the point where you feel better may take a long time. Plus, you didn't do anything for your body, you just keep building more and more toxins in your body. So the fasting is there for a reason, and even I come to the conclusion with the years, because I fasted more than once, even if you don't lose appetite and you're not sick, but you feel somehow, you sense, you feel, I want to fast now, I feel like I want to fast, just go for it. Listen, it may be intuition of the body, I don't know what it is, but that happened to me as well. And I always obey that, and I always gain from it. One more last thing I want to mention about fast, that is, I reached a point when I stopped fasting for a long time, and that was because after one fast I lost more weight than usual, and it took me a long time to gain that weight back to my usual weight of my body. And on that I decided not to fast for a few years, unless I would be sick, but my body never gave me signals to fast.
Yeah, you do always have to understand that fasting is, generally speaking, not easy, and it will knock you out. So expect on the first day to be feeling nausea even. I mean, that was my experience. Depending on how clean you are, you may not experience it. For me, often when I first started experimenting with fasting, I would get to afternoon and I would already feel nauseous, which is a sign that the body has actually got stuff that's got to come out. And most people would interpret it as being, I'm dying of hunger. But of course, that's not true. The truth is that your body is actually seizing the day, as it were, to take advantage of the fact that you're not eating, to finally begin the elimination process, which I talked about in a previous video. I'll put the link down underneath. So it is going to be difficult. You are going to be knocked out. But at the end of the day, it's a very, very beneficial experience that you always come out the other side feeling better for. So just be aware of that when you do fast. And if it happens that you're one of these people that's incredibly busy and working all the time, or you've got a family and you just can't afford to fast because you haven't got time to do it, then consider doing a juice feast instead. I like to call it a juice feast rather than a juice fast.
It's not fast.
It's not, because you're not really fasting if you're drinking juices. But it will, I mean, it's not going to have as deep cleansing effect as the fast. But if you push it for long enough, it eventually will get there that it will start cleaning out a lot of stuff. And the good thing about just drinking juices whenever you want to all day long, fresh juices, is that you're not going to have that energy loss and that need to go to bed or whatever. You can actually do that indefinitely. I mean, I've done 50 days on just juices before. Yeah. So you can keep pushing that, but at a certain point your body will say, come on, you've got to eat again now, I need something. The why And the when you should fast is basically when you, and this is my opinion now, following more nature cure than natural hygienism, that you should actually wait until there's a healing crisis. But if you're young, got a lot of vitality, scratch what I just said and then seize the opportunity to take a fast when it's the right time for you, because I don't think there's really any right and wrong. Well, there can be some blatant wrongs, but you have to figure it out for yourself, what's right for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we will do definitely more. This is big topic videos about fasting, our experiences.
Well, this is just the why and the when.
And yeah, why and when, that's right. Because it's definitely a huge topic, and I fasted personally with few people throughout all the years. And I can tell you it goes for everybody be different, because it really depends.
It does.
The owner condition of your body, of the toxicity, your age, your stamina, and blah blah, all that. So keep going.
Always jumps into my mind story that Herbert Shelton wrote in one of his books. He wrote about a tribe in Central Africa somewhere, and he said that when the men came of age in that tribe, they would fast every year. Now, I can't quote you the time because it's been some long time since I read it, but it was something in the realm of 20-something days that the men fasted for. I'm not talking about like Ramadan, where they stuff themselves as soon as the sun goes down. I'm talking about really fasting where they would have nothing but water. And they would do this every year. There was a time of year that they celebrated this. And the women would do it as well, unless they were pregnant or lactating. They would also, but not quite as long. I think the women fasted for under 20 days and the men was over 20 days. I don't remember the exact numbers. But what I do recall is that this particular tribe in Africa lived on average, and again, I can't say for sure because I don't remember the numbers, but it was some years longer than all the other tribes that were around them that did this, that lived in kind of more or less the same way and ate the same kind of things that they did, only they didn't fast. But these fasting people managed to live longer on average. So I found that quite fascinating. It was one of the first things I was doing, that actually because your body is cleansing every year, it gives it a chance to remain vital for longer and hence lengthening longevity.
Yes, it's true. I definitely, from my own experiences and experience others I witnessed, I definitely can say that fast is always beneficial to you. So you never can do nothing wrong.
Actually, there are some people that take things to an extreme with it really and push it beyond there, but because we'll talk about when to stop the fast and that later on, but you can definitely do it wrong and you can definitely hurt yourself from it if you don't do it properly.
Yeah, that's good you mentioned because I didn't think of that when I said that. You actually can do the harm to yourself. So for now, as to start with, I think that's enough information for you to ponder over, and please share with us if you have any experiences in the comments, and we thank you for all new subscribers.
And if anybody out there actually is more recently than I, because it's been like 30 years since I read Herbert Shelton, but if anybody out there is currently reading him by any chance, his words on fasting, and they come across this little anecdote that he wrote about the African tribe, write in the comments please how long it was that they were fasting for and what the average life expectancy was more for them than the other tribes, because I would love to have my memory refreshed. Yeah. So anyway, thank you for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thank you for being here with us, and thank you for everything that you have an interest in such a topic, and for beautiful comments and all your questions. And don't forget about love, because without love you are poor person, you have empty hands. So think about that, and we love you. Until next time.